Jack the Ripper, history's most mysterious serial killer. The name Jack the Ripper still sends shivers down people's spines today. This name is not just that of a person, but a mystery that has baffled the entire world for centuries. To this day, it has not been determined who Jack the Ripper actually was. Neither his face nor his true identity is known. Yet, his cruelty and his crimes are counted among the most horrific chapters in history. The dark truth of Victorian London. The year was 1888. The place was the Whitechapel area of London. At that time, London was going through the Industrial Revolution. On one side, there was wealth and glamour, and on the other, poverty, squalor, crime, and hunger. The Whitechapel area was particularly full of poor laborers, the unemployed, and prostitutes. This area became the center of Jack the Ripper's reign of terror. The first murder, the beginning of a terrifying series. On August 31st, 1888, the first body was found. The victim's name was Mary Ann Nichols, Polly Nichols. Her throat had been brutally cut and the lower part of her body mutilated. The police considered it a normal murder and did not take it very seriously. But this was a huge mistake. The pattern of murders. What followed terrified all of London. Annie Chapman, September 8, 1888. Elizabeth Stride, September 30th, 1888. Catherine Eddowes, September 30th, 1888. Mary Jane Kelly, November 9th, 1888. These 5 women are called the Canonical Five, who are considered to be the confirmed victims of Jack the Ripper. Each murder was more brutal than the last. Method of killing. Jack the Ripper's method was extremely gruesome and systematic. First, the victim's throat was cut. Then, the abdomen was slit open and the internal organs were removed. In some cases, organs were taken away. The body was mutilated in such a way that it seemed the killer had a good knowledge of anatomy. This led many to suspect that Jack the Ripper might be a doctor or a surgeon. Police failure. At that time, the police did not have the forensic tools available today. No DNA testing, no CCTV, no fingerprint system. Thousands of people were questioned, but no concrete evidence was found. The media heavily criticized the police. Fear among the public increased so much that people hesitated to leave their homes at night. Mysterious letters. Jack the Ripper sent several letters to the police and the media. The most famous of these was the letter titled "From Hell." Along with this letter, a piece of a human kidney was also sent, which was allegedly from one of the victims. The letter read, "Catch me when you can." This made it clear that the killer was openly challenging the police. The last and most brutal murder. The murder of Mary Jane Kelly is considered the most horrific. This murder took place in a locked room. Her face was unrecognizable. Body parts were scattered around the room. The heart was missing. After this murder, Jack the Ripper suddenly disappeared. Who was Jack the Ripper? Main suspects. To this day, several people have been suspected of being Jack the Ripper. Montague John Druitt, a teacher who committed suicide. Aaron Kosminski, a mentally ill man who lived in Whitechapel. Sir William Gull. Queen Victoria's doctor, Francis Tumblety, a doctor accused of hating women, but no conclusive evidence was found against anyone. DNA testing and modern investigations. In 2014, it was claimed that DNA found on a shawl identified Aaron Kosminski as Jack the Ripper. However, the scientific community dismissed this claim as unreliable because the evidence was not fully authenticated. Why is Jack the Ripper still talked about today? His identity remains a mystery. He turned crime into a media sensation. It was the first case that popularized the term serial killer. His story has become part of films, books, and documentaries. Psychological profile. According to experts, Jack the Ripper hated women, desired a sense of power and control, was extremely violent and cold-blooded, lived on the fringes of society. Will Jack the Ripper ever be caught? The probability is almost zero. The evidence has been destroyed, the witnesses are dead, and the case is 130 years old. But one thing is certain. Jack the Ripper was the most dangerous and mysterious serial killer in history. Conclusion. Jack the Ripper was not just a murderer, he was a symbol of terror. He proved how inhumane a human being can be. Even today, his name is synonymous with darkness, mystery, and fear.